And I'm very specific, but most people don't listen. If you go to Wooster Street, this is how it's cut.
Yeah.
I'm not saying down the street
Right,
to
right.
Joey Got Bones over there.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.
All right, episode 25, the first episode of 2025. That's neat. Episode 25, the first episode of the
25,
year.
baby.
And welcome to this new year of episodes of Charred. And we appreciate everyone who watched last year to all the different episodes with Frank and I. And we're starting off the year in a huge way. We have a big guest today. We got Max from Lenny's of Beats.
Hello.
And if you're wondering where Max is from, flew all the way here from London.
From London, England, I sure did. For the third time in 12 months, I'm back. I'm back in New Haven, where I belong.
Now, if people are wondering, how did you get in contact with Frank? That to come onto the show.
Okay. Well, it's a good question. Instagram, I guess, is the main answer.
Okay.
Frank, I'm a big fan of Frank. My New Haven pizza journey kind of starts with Frank's YouTube videos. That's Frank's dough recipe.
Right
I
here,
won't
boy.
say any more than that.
Nice.
That's it there. That's, so I've been a fan. I am a fan. The pizza gavones, all that stuff. Real content, and listen, that's where my dough recipe starts, and I haven't added anything to it because why would I do that, So a couple of weeks ago, Frank turned up in my comments actually because someone asked me, how can you call it New Haven Apizza? You haven't got coal. And there's people who put out misinformation about New Haven Apizza, some big names who don't know as much as Frank does about New Haven Apizza. So Frank came in as my American support, which happens to be quite a lot these days. I get these East Coast guys coming in saying, hey, that's not true. And he said, well, I think the number you gave was 2% of Connecticut pizzerias are coal-fired.
Probably less. There's only about 6 places that have true coal
That
fire.
are coal. Yeah.
And, I'm like, hey, Frank, I know you. Thanks for that. I'm in New Haven in a couple of weeks. It would be great to just meet and talk about pizza. And obviously, I'm a fan of Charred. I've been following you guys. I subscribe on Spotify.
That's awesome.
And, who am I to ask to appear on this? But I think Frank asked me, and I very humbly and I'm very flattered to accept. Happy to be here.
No, we love it. We love
real.
Because we're like surrounded by New Haven Beats all the time, living here. So give us your journey. Like how did you start the restaurant? How did you come up with the idea?
Sure. So it kind of starts with Dave Portnoy.
Okay, yeah.
During COVID, I started watching.
I got my one bite.
Hell yeah! Shout out,
boy,
Bray.
here we go already. We're starting off on a bad note.
I know.
I liked your Max, but
Well, hey, I haven't finished yet. I just said where I started.
I'm a big one bite fan.
Okay, great. Well, I have to be. He introduced me to the beauty of American pizza.
Yeah.
Because where I come from, we don't know that much about it.
Yeah.
So during COVID, I started watching. There's on the YouTube page. There's playlists. So I just went back to I think 2019 was the earliest I could go back.
Yeah.
And I ate lunch every day with Dave, and then and I'm just like, well, what are these words he uses? What's a tavern pie? What's a football pie? We don't have any of that. It's just got this floppy, big crust.
Neapolitan.
Neapolitan. And
Yeah.
we barely even call it that. You just call it pizza because we've had it forced on us. This 00 flour stuff, wood fire oven, 90 seconds.
Yeah.
It's just...
Is that basically what all of England is? All the places?
Yeah. Yeah, it is. Yeah. There's some variation. We've got Domino's, so like most people,
Right,
the average
so-
person in the UK, you ask what's American pizza, they'll tell you Domino's. Or that
okay.
kind of stuff.
Yeah.
There's a wave now. There's my guy like Tom Vincent Vincenzo's and Carl at Crisp in London. They're doing, it's not New Haven pizza. They have, they can do it, but they're a bit more Italian-American influenced stuff.
Oh, okay.
So that's Vincenzo's and Crisp. Those are the OGs of the new wave.
Nice.
So big shout out to those guys. And yeah, I basically, the way I tell the story now, which is, slightly embellished for
you have to
just to be
embellish.
quick. Is he got to Sally's and he opened that box and I booked a flight to New Haven. That's pretty much, when he opens the box, he says, things actually I can't say because I'm not allowed to swear on here. But he says, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
Right? And I did cry. Literally. And that's kind of what happened. That's my best friend, Dan, Handsome Dan, we call him now. He was like, you got to get out there. I'm going to get you out there. And then we came, like I say, December 2023. By this point, I'd been following Frank's recipe at home. I thought I was making a beats. I had this thin, crispy pizza. And then I came here and I ate it and I was like, oh.
And that was the first time.
I'm not making this.
Was that the first time you had been to Connecticut?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah.
So no pizza experience prior to just kind of banging around with at home?
It all starts with you, Frank. The first.
Hey!
That's it. Mr. Beats UK starts with the pizza Gavone recipe. It's,
I'm going to start to cry now.
Yeah, man, good. You first. Jimmy Brandolini, him first. But yeah, so I came here. I did a pizza making course at Zoop's in Ansonia with Jim, who's the great grandson of Alistair Zupardi.
Okay, yeah, it's parties. Yeah,
made a pie. You know, you get to make a pie there. So this is like a make a pizza at home course.
Right.
But Jim's there, so you can ask any question you want to ask. And you know, I learned in a couple sentences. The big thing I've learned in my journey with pizza is the most important stuff you don't read online. I read everything I could find online. I watched every video. I listened to every podcast. Yeah. But the things that are in my head when I'm making pies now are sentences that people like Jim or Ray Santiago or Ben McLean, who worked at Frank Pepe's, was trained by Gary Bemonte. That's who I hear.
Yeah.
You know? And even Jim Brandolini, who's an at-home baker but knows his stuff.
Yeah.
And it's you know, I've read. I know what everyone else has read because I've read it all. And that I've learned is what being a real pizza person is you know, you're in there learning it as it happens.
That's incredible. I mean, the way you're even talking about it, it sounds like you grew up in New Haven. You know all the names, you know all the places. Like that's really great.
This bloke's done his homework.
Yeah, seriously.
I didn't even know it was happening. You know, I didn't even know I was obsessed until I was so obsessed I hadn't thought about anything else for a year.
Well, it's one of those things, you know, I've told this story on this show before, but that my wife got me Frank's class for Father's Day like 3 or 4 years ago. And same thing. Once I started doing it, it becomes an obsession. You become it's a passion for it. And then you're always trying to perfect it. Like you're always trying to make the next. Yeah, exactly.
It never ends. I talk to Ray sometimes and he tells me, you never, and I'd say I call him the GOAT. You know, as far as I'm concerned, Ray Santiago makes the best pizza I've ever seen in my life. Sorry.
It's okay. How long are you here for?
I'm here for a week. So I flew in, I landed at JFK last night. And really the way I treat JFK is that's my layover to get to New Haven, you know? So I jumped there, I jumped quickly to a pizzeria there, which a friend from New York recommended. And then I got here last night. And I'm kind of going to use, this time I'm going to use it as my base. Because what I've done in the past is come here and go, I'll do 4 days in New Haven and 3 days in New York. And then while I'm here, that becomes 5, 6. And then I don't leave. I don't want to leave, you know? So I'm here for the full week.
So I've got an offer, hopefully you can't refuse.
Yes, already yes.
So I have a couple openings Monday night. I have a class in New Haven.
Amazing.
And I want you to come.
Okay.
If you have time.
What is Monday? Monday's is it before the 14th?
Yes.
Yeah, then I'm there. 100%. I'm there.
I also have a Sunday class, but it's really full, but I'll switch.
No. Don't make any extra efforts with me. I'm there Monday. If I'm in New Haven, I'm there for sure. There's no doubt.
Okay.
Yeah, you'll love Frank's class. Frank's class is super fun.
I should have done it the first time, but I got to do gyms, you know? So
it's okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
So tell us a little bit about Lenny's Beats. When you first started making the pizza and serving it, were people confused? Were they into it? Did they like it?
So, cool.
Can I just pause for 1 second? Because I think you have like a little bit of a rebel experience on Instagram. Like you're like the pizza rebel.
No, not me.
I mean, you put your face mask there. Yeah. Because a lot of your stuff is like that.
Yeah.
I don't know what you're talking about. No,
you're like the Darth Vader of pizza.
Of a Beats.
That's it. Someone said, "Dude thinks he's Bane" in one of my comments. I said, "Bane thinks he's me."
There you go. That's the attitude. That's the attitude to have.
No, it's a crazy story, man. I don't know. My reception in the UK hasn't been as great as you might think it would be for from my peers in the industry. I've had pizza reviewers, some of whom may be visiting in the coming days, I hear, who have been trolling me basically. You know, like I'll say this unequivocally on the record, right? Here I am in New Haven on the Charred podcast. Lenny's Beats is the only New Haven pizzeria in the UK.
Boom.
And that's it. Okay?
That's a big one.
That's a fact.
Yeah.
You can look it up. Okay? I don't care if they had a pizza on their menu called the New Haven. They had other pizzas that weren't called that and they weren't New Haven pizzas.
There you go.
So that's it. Here we are, right? Case closed. And I've had to do that. And really what's happened as a result of people doing that to me is it's really kind of focused me. That's what made me Mr. Beats, because I was like, oh, that irritates you? Then let me do a little bit more of that.
Yeah, it almost drives you. Yeah, it drives you.
My fuel. People say to me, oh, why are you bothering
great.
with this? It's like, man, this is why I wake up in the morning to show these clowns I'm still going.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going harder than I was yesterday because of you. And then these things like this keep happening, where now I'm here in New Haven and I'm on the Charred podcast.
Yeah.
You know, so... Yeah.
So overall, I mean, probably one of the hardest things is turning people from that Neapolitan pizza, which is very different than New Haven, to like the New Haven style. I mean, it seems like, and you get a lot of positive reviews too, because I've looked at your stuff. So it seems like it's kind of catching on.
Well, I mean, I would say the pizza speaks for itself. The Apizza speaks for itself.
Yeah.
And I don't even mean mine. You know, mine I think is pretty good, and I'm in the beautifully lucky position of not having anyone else to compete with in this place, right? No one else is making a beat.
Yeah.
So I'm blowing people's minds is the truth, right? They come here, they like you said, they've never seen these trays before. I don't know how anyone's been to New Haven before me and seen the way these guys do it and not gone, I'm going to try and do this, because I've never seen anything better than that, you know? And I took a punt that I'm right on that, and we'll see, you know, and I'm going to have to drag these people through the Apizza revolution, which is what I call it.
I love that.
And it's happened. You know, I mean, you've got big brands in the UK who I won't mention their name because they're big enough already. Neapolitan brands. They've launched brands with my hashtag on their boxes. My hashtag is crispy, chewy, charred. Theirs
I like
says
that. Crispy, chewy,
crispy
charred.
and charred. And it's like, yeah, who was talking about charred before Mr. Apizza?
Right, you were
no one.
You were the first one.
You know? I'm not doing it to kind of look how great I am. I'm proud. I'm proud that, and shocked. You know, I've had a million ideas in my life where I've Googled it and it's gone, oh, someone's already done that.
Yeah.
And no one had done this. You know?
And I think that, you know, just like anything else, I think it takes time. You know, so how long have you had the place open?
4 months.
Right. So I mean, you just start making it like, so I think it's going to catch on word of mouth. You know, people are going to start to try it, and then it's just going to grow. It's just going to snowball. And for you to be there at the beginning, like, that's where they'll know the original before anything else, you know?
I didn't say it.
Right. I said it. Yep.
Yeah, exactly.
So instead of people flying in from all over the world to go to New Haven, they're going to fly in all over the world to go to Lenny's.
I know. I gotta book a trip to London. Come see your spot.
You have to. But yeah, I actually had some guys in because the pub that I'm working in is I don't have a like a lease or anything. I'm just in there with my guy John.
Okay.
Shout out to great John, who's my landlord. It's his pub, the Bedford Tavern. Check it out, N7, Finsbury Park. He's got a big Arsenal following. It's Arsenal Football Club. That's my team. I'm a local guy living in 7-2.
So football is soccer for you guys.
Soccer, yeah. Football. I call soccer. You know, the one that you use your feet for.
Yeah, exactly. The common sense. Yeah. You guys got it right.
Sorry. I'll stick to pizza.
Listen, we can cut this interview very short.
I'll stick to pizza. I'm sorry. So he's got this big time with like Arsenal America. So he had this whole big thing going with the American expat community in the UK, who Lenny's really resonates with as well, and is adding to, you know, because now it's not just football, or soccer, and now it's pizza too. And I had some guys who were over to watch Arsenal from Atlanta, Georgia. They'd never been to New Haven. They'd never had a beat. And now they have.
Wow.
They think. I mean, I'm not really comfortable. You know, no. I said to no. You still got to go to Sally's and Pepe. Well, everywhere. Let's not name names. You still got to go to New Haven, Connecticut.
Yeah. But yeah, you know, you're right. Like all the famous ones. But that's hilarious that the guys from the U.S. In a different part of the country had New Haven style pizza for the first time in London. That's amazing.
Yeah, I know.
You see what you're starting?
I do. Yeah, all kinds of trouble.
What were you doing before all this started?
I don't remember. No, I was
Probably a lot of this.
no, I was. I've been, you know, I think the easiest way to put it is I've been trying to make money. I've been trying to start businesses and make money and chasing that. You know, and like, I'll start this business, I'll sell this business to Google. You know? I was doing software beforehand.
Okay, yeah.
And I've been doing it for 12 years. I started when I was in my mid-20s, and I hated it by the time I was in my mid-30s. I was stuck, you know. And I just decided at the start of last year, I'm going to just take a plunge. You know, I'd been making Frank's recipe at home. I came out in December 23, and it was like, right, this is it. I'm going. And there's a lot of options in front of you in London with pizza. You know, you can. Well, there's a lot of options. So it took a while, and then I just let the universe take its course. Actually, is what happened. You know, and I was mentioning my landlord John, the Bedford Tavern. I was introduced to him by the New Haven Arsenal Supporters Club.
Oh, that's funny.
Who is Craig, who runs Aussies a Beats, which is obviously open out here now, and also in LA. I've got loads of family in LA. My family, this is what I mean, you know. So there's a guy called Milton Pabon, who I have to give a shout to. He's the oven guy at Aussies a Beats in LA, and he reached out to me when I had like 30 followers and said I was an inspiration to him, and I called him my brother in a beat. Yeah. And anyway, as a result of that friendship, my family in LA go to their place. As a result of my family going there and then posting about it, Craig, who's the owner, part owner with Chris, sees it and DMs me and says, "Oh my God, I love London. I come every year to watch my beloved Arsenal." Well, that's my beloved Arsenal, right? And that's where I live. You can see the stadium literally from my bedroom.
Oh, that's funny.
You got to go meet our guy John at the Bedford Tavern. And now you know, I
that's
never
how it
want to leave
happened.
that place, basically.
Yeah.
You know, so
It's funny how everything intertwines like that. Like it's
written
incredible.
in the stars, honestly.
Yeah.
I just feel lucky to be on. You know, I don't know what I did to deserve this, but I'm so grateful I get it. That's how I feel.
But I feel like a lot of people go through that, especially now. You know, they're trying to start businesses, or they're very entrepreneurial, and they're trying to start either an Instagram account, and they don't know what to do until they find that one passion. And that's really what you need, because then you become tunnel vision. Like, this is what I want to do.
That's it. Nothing else matters.
Yeah.
You know? I mean, I say to people, it's real easy to make a beat. All you got to do is not think about anything else every waking minute, and not sleep that much. That's it.
Right.
You know, that's how I did it. You know.
But Kevin, you keyed on one thing, and we talk about it somewhat a bunch on the show. You know, you radiate this passion. You know, it's like it's coming off you. And Mike, when Mike was here, Mike Pollock from
Michael Pollock,
Mike, New Haven Pizza
Club, you know,
Yeah.
same thing with him. And so I think like it's one of the things that doesn't show up on the recipe. And that's, I think, what makes people really good pizza makers, beats makers, is that passion for something that they really love.
I totally agree.
And
So
it's
true.
very simple. You know, the recipe's simple, the pizza's simple, but you gotta love to do it.
Absolutely.
And that's the thing that just doesn't get, you know,
So I
most
just
of the
say you could be Ray Santiago. So that's Ray Santiago, who I'm sure you know.
Oh yeah,
From Sally's of Beats, 50
Yep.
years worked at Sally's of Beats. If you ever hear him, he's on YouTube all over the place. When they ask him what's the secret, he says it's the love that we put into it.
yeah.
Yeah,
And that's the answer.
it really is. You can do all the measurements you want, and yeah, it's that.
And in the
it's that
UK,
love
we
and
can't
passion.
even use the ingredients used here. You know, there's all kinds of laws that like things we're not allowed to put in food.
Bromated flour and
There you go. Exactly.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. And even just like there's a whole conversation to have around the difference. You know, really, because so much of what is excellent pizza is actually American. You know, like pepperoni, obviously. Right?
Yeah.
That's American.
Right.
Yeah, not Italian. You know, pepperoni doesn't mean sausage in Italian, right? It means pepper. So,
Yeah.
but we don't hear that. We just say, oh, you mean salami Milano? No, actually, we mean that cup in pepperoni stuff. That wasn't
Yeah.
a cuss, by the way.
Cup and
Cupping.
char.
Right,
Cupping.
yeah,
Cup and char.
yeah,
No
cup and
one's
char.
doing that there, you know. So it's just. It's to me, you know, people want to ask me how I'm doing what I'm doing. It's like, well, I studied everything I could find. I listened real close, you know, and I don't think I know anything about it because I didn't know anything. I'm not a chef. I've got no training, you know, so it's replicated.
But you got this.
And I've got you,
Yeah.
and I've got Ray, and I've got Jim. I've got these people who, you know, they see that.
Oh, you got to give me a hug.
You know, I mean
Love
it.
that.
I really mean it. I mean it. It's amazing. This stuff's changed my whole life. It's
Yeah.
changed my whole life, you know, and I love it.
Pizza. Yeah. I say it all the time. I'm like, pizza is a life changer for a lot of people in
man.
many different ways.
Even though you haven't been to the school yet, you're going to get this.
Oh, thank you so much.
You got to wear that proudly.
Yeah, of course I will. I'll put it on over my Lenny's hat.
Baker's
Well,
cap.
there you go.
There you go.
you
Looks
go.
perfect.
And now I got something for Lenny.
Oh, wow.
So this is a small
No.
apron.
Yeah.
This is a Lenny apron.
Oh, my God. It's going to go on him. He'll wear it like a cape. Wow. I'll hold that up for a second there. Thank you so much.
That's great.
For you guys as well. We're doing this. I'll just show that there.
Oh yeah, let's show up the shirt.
Do
Yeah.
it properly. You guys as you wish. But
Kevin, you take one side, I'll take the other.
Yeah.
So I took my inspiration from a
Lenny's,
legendary place, and you can't buy this merch. It's not for sale.
Ooh.
Nice.
It's gifted.
That's
So,
fantastic. I love the logo too. It
Thank
looks
you
great.
so much. That's
And this is your
Sam
Robert
Bryan.
Barron.
And that's
That's
for
your-
the pizza bandits, you know. No face, no case.
What's your Instagram real quick? Just you know,
the
so people
Instagram
can
is
follow. you.
Lenny's a Beats.
Lenny's a Beats.
Lenny's a Beats. That's like that. Yeah,
There you
Mr.
go.
Beats UK. If you want a Beats and smoke.
So what are your plans, you know, going forward? You know, just to keep, did you know, in your dream mind, do you plan to expand, build it bigger? You know, what's your plan?
Sure. Well, I mean, I jokingly said to my guy John the other day, you know, I think I might retire because I've kind of accomplished everything I set out to achieve.
I did it. I'm done.
And the truth of the matter is, I did. I have.
Yeah.
And I don't say that boastfully because I had humble dreams to begin with. It was if I could open a local pizzeria that people loved, and I get to make pizza for the rest of my life, and I can pay my bills, then I'm a happy man for the rest of my life.
Yeah.
But this is bigger than me now, and I've got all kinds of people talking to me and putting these ideas around, and I think. That's how you ruin a business like this. Is you listen too much to other people and like how big. You know, I think you can see it. You know, I won't name names again, but you can see it in New Haven, Connecticut, right? Expansion isn't always. It's hard to expand magic.
Right.
I think. You know, there's magic in what I'm doing now. And I feel blessed. I'm not magic. I'm just get to observe.
Yeah.
So I don't want to mess with that. So I'm trying really hard to think about what that looks like. What does it look like to expand without diluting? And I've got some ideas. But people copy me, so I keep my ideas close to my chest these days.
You should make the beats for Arsenal. for the team.
Hey, stranger things have happened. Stranger things have happened. No, but I think my aspirations are international.
Yeah. Oh, so bring it worldwide.
International. Ooh,
I like
man.
that.
Yeah. Well, where's this pizza come from?
Yeah, true.
How could I be
It's
more
worldwide.
New Haven than opening in New Haven?
Yeah.
It's funny, from Italy to New Haven, back now to England. Now maybe international.
Who knows? Exactly. Exactly.
What's your favorite pizza to make? Like when you're making pies?
So this is again my guy King Cash. Shout out King Cash. He's my right hand man. He's amazing. He works with me. He stretches all the pizzas, all the doughs out for me.
Yeah.
And he says to me, he always can tell I like making the Ray Santiago. Which is,
there you go.
Which is named after my idol, my pizza idol. So that's like all the meats with red onion and hot peppers.
Nice.
So sausage, and no one really, maybe a couple of people, but it's not very common in the UK to see the sausage sliced like you guys do over here. It's more of a crumble. So that's, it has to be like that for me. And then the Lenny, which is a half tomato, half cheese pie.
Tomato,
a half tomato pie. Yeah, and that's kind of like my signature. That's become my signature pie because no one's seen that before, and that's I love it. To me, it looks like it's half real bright red, half real bright yellow. I slice it like a lunatic.
New Haven cut, baby.
Did you do a New Haven cut?
100% of the time. I watched and I listened.
Frank started some controversy on that on Facebook one time. People were going back and forth about whether you should do it like that, or what was like if they actually do it like that in the different New Haven places.
It was the only quote unquote viral Instagram video I ever had, which I took a little snapshot of my class and I was showing people how to do the New Haven cut, and they called me every name in the book. This guy doesn't know what he's doing. I've lived in New Haven for 50 years and I've never seen a cut like this before. I'm like, you never been to Wooster Street.
Right, then you've never been to the places.
And I'm very specific, but most people don't listen. If you go to Wooster Street, this is how it's cut.
Yeah,
I'm not saying down the street to Joey Got Bones over there. But,
but they don't. To me, I think it's what I see when I look at that kind of stuff and the beats in general is there's a kind of punk rebellion thing to the beats. It doesn't care, Oh, that's burnt. No, it's not. And I think with the cut, I don't slice every pie I serve. I've got guys who do that for me, guys and girls. Yasmin, Shao Queen Yasmin. She's a Connecticut native. She does my front of house.
Really?
Oh, that's awesome.
Wow.
Yeah,
that's a cool little thing to have. That you have some Connecticut ties to your spot.
And the place is packed full of East Coasters all the time. Oh, actually, Americans, not only East Coasters.
Yeah.
It resonates with them. But they all know how I slice it, and they all have their own way of doing it. No one's getting symmetrical sliced pies.
Right.
It's not how we do it. Right,
yeah.
And it's a form of expression, I think. So that's and the ones you say what we should be like everyone else is when you be like everyone else. You can do that.
We were talking about this when Michael was here from New Haven Pizza Club. That like there's art because he does a lot of artwork and things like that. And there's creativity in pizza, and like you said about punk rock, like there's no rhyme or reason to it. It's like whatever your take on it is how it is.
Well, and I spread the tomato sauce with my hand like they've always done at Sally's. So I feel like I'm painting those pizzas.
Yeah,
I am painting those pizzas. You won't convince me otherwise.
Right.
And it's like I care as much as an artist does when he's got a paintbrush.
Yeah.
Where every single thing goes. If you look at them, I hope you can tell. That I've thought about every bite.
I tell people all the time in my class, there's no taste in shape. And so a lot of the people that take my class have never made a pizza, and they come in all different shapes. And I'm like, you know what? It doesn't matter because it's your pizza.
Absolutely.
Like, where does it say that you have to have a symmetrically round pizza for it to taste good?
Right.
It like drives me crazy.
Yeah, it doesn't matter.
So.
And who's in charge of what shape that dough comes out? I'm in charge of the dough. I'm not in charge of the dough.
Exactly.
Someone said to me the other day, I thought I'd mold the dough, but the dough molds me. Man, I think that's a great quote. I think that's a great quote.
Well, this has been awesome, man.
Yeah.
We're so happy that you came over, that we were able to get you on the show.
Much.
And anyone who's listening or watching, if you're visiting over in London, let them know where they can go to the spot.
Lenny's a Beach, 167 Sisters Road at the Bedford Tavern. It's the only place in the whole United Kingdom for New Haven a Beach.
There you go.
It's the only one. Come see me, Mr. A Beats.
Give the Instagram again so people
and
can
I'm Lenny's a Beats. That's how to spell that. Come on. Spelled properly, not phonetically. Apizza. Lenny's a Beats and Mr. A Beats UK also spelled properly. I'll see you there, I hope.
There you go. Awesome.
Thank you for having me, guys.
Absolutely. Max, thank you so much.
Max, thank you.
Thank you so much, Frank. It's an honor.
Appreciate it, man. And remember, it's not burnt.
It's charred.
Yeah.
Hey! You got it, baby.
Come on, man. I know that.
New Haven style pizza. Come and take a seat. A beats, it's time to eat.